Welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone. All right, let me know if you can hear me because I'm going to do some TA on Dogecoin's bullishness for short term, and I'm going to take some Q&A about where we are now and kind of just get a feel for the community and what you guys are thinking. So I'm going to type it in the comment section. You guys just let me know everything is working as desired. But other than that, I appreciate all of you guys. As far as for like the last few days when I haven't posted, I put it in the comment section like a while back that I'm working on some additional projects that I'll have pretty much coming out this year. So I just wanted to take like some time to dedicate to that because it requires a lot of attentiveness. All right, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, great. Okay, so let's look at the chart. Finally, please, more videos. I appreciate you. Okay, more videos coming. All right, so let's look at the charts here, and we're going to do some short-term TA and why I believe that we're still showing signs of bullishness for Dogecoin overall. So, as we mentioned before, that we were getting ready to break and that we were curving the 21-day moving average, and I said that it would be really great if we could break through the 72-day moving average. So on this chart here, the yellow line that you're going to be looking at is the 21-day moving average. The purple line is the 72-day moving average. And of course, the red line up here is the 200-day moving average. So as you can see, we've greatly bent our 21-day moving average, and we're still above our 72-day moving average, which is really great. That is very bullish. And it looks like we got a rejection off of the 21-day moving average, and we're actually starting to build support. This is one of the key points that I'm looking at right here, is we're actually starting to build support at the 72-day moving average. We mentioned that this pattern here, we followed this for like a few months actually, and we're stating that, okay, once we have confirmation and we break above like the 13.8 range, we pretty much have like a new trend. This trend would become invalid and no longer respected. And this is literally what's happening here. We've actually broken the lower highs that we were going into, and we've pretty much went above those resistance levels and are now building new support at higher levels. So this is very bullish here in the short term. This is literally how you start a new trend, and we're going to have to pretty much, maybe we can even have one of these on the opposite side where we're trending it upward. So this is really great here. We're going to have to watch this over the next 48, 72 hours to see if preferably the 72-day moving average, that purple line, that we keep building support here, so that when we have the next run or the next bounce, 15, 16 cents or so, this is where we can expect some resistance, or at least a floor of some sort, if we were to get like some negative news or have some liquidity leave the market. So this is really great that we're building a support here. I'd much rather, you guys know how I feel about gap ups and those rocket ships that leave that open window to have this liquidity vacuumed out of the market. I'd much rather build this stair-step approach here and have support at these different levels here, so that way, every time something happens or money flows out of the market, you're not feeling like you've been rug pulled and you see your portfolio swinging, 10, 15%, over the course of a few days. So it kind of helps add more stability. So really excited about that. And again, we're going to have to watch this over the next 48 to 72 hours here to see how this performs. But as of right now, very bullish here if we stay above the 72-day moving average. And certainly if we're getting rejections off of the 21. So that's really great here if we can kind of consolidate these two lines. So as long as these lines, especially when these lines cross, which I believe they will, we'll have to wait for their data to fill in. But I believe the 72, the 21-day moving average is going to cross, which is really great. And then we can expect to build support and hopefully just go up from there overall. So I'll take like some questions if you guys have it. But short term, yeah, we're definitely still bullish short term. So don't be discouraged or anything about that, about movement, or if it seems stagnant or something like that. We're gonna have to look at the charts and compare it to where it's been and see the momentum that's building behind the actual coin. So we see that is building in the right direction, and we see the lines curving in the direction that you want, and we're getting the support that we want as well. So I think this is great for short term. Let's see, your videos are a breath of fresh air after watching all the bullshit channels all week. All right, thank you. Was it C-Town? Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's see. Wouldn't you think they would be talking about the moon landing on TV since it's a big deal? Also, a substantial price rise should come once that happens, right? Yeah. No. Certainly, been like a cryptocurrency in space and stuff like that. I know we've seen some like Photoshop rockets and stuff like that, like with the Doge on the side, all that kind of stuff like that. Yeah, they typically. We've seen a lot of coverage on any type of people going into space. A lot of the billionaire entrepreneurs and stuff like that. Typically, you're right. Yeah, that does get a lot of press coverage. So we can, expect there to be a catalyst around that, some type of momentum, just from the media aspect, which is great. That that helps bring awareness to the coin. Yes, you can see a potential spike in the price action as well. Substantial, don't know. Again, we have had shorts back off. I went over that in my last videos, but depending on like momentum and stuff like that, that's always going to have to be a factor that we're going to have to watch out for, just because of the way history has shown with this coin and how aggressive they can come in if it starts gaining too much momentum. But yeah, the catalyst is there for it to bring exposure to the coin, or for people, once it's getting talked about and publications are put out as we get closer to the date, you'll see even short-term people come in and try and make a gamble on this and say, hey, I may not necessarily be long in this, but I believe that we're going to get a bump because of the press coverage. So they're going to try and swing it. So you can see some momentum on that. So just kind of be prepared for some volatility around that time as well, because not everybody that comes in there is going to necessarily be long-term. They're just going to try and turn a quick profit. So regardless of what happens, just kind of expect there to be some volatility there. But you're right. There's certainly a catalyst there for a bump in price, just based off of the hype around the that section. Let's see. What do you think of XRP? I really got to look into that in depth. I haven't looked at it in a while, to be honest with you. I looked at it like maybe like once or twice. I don't own any, so I'll say no comment for now. So ready for that moon trip soon. Absolutely, absolutely. I know a lot of people are excited about it. There's a lot of positive things that can come out of it as well. But you guys know me. I'm certainly just hoping for and pushing for utility with the coin. So what's your predictions for Doge by the end of the year? By the way, love your channel. Thank you. I appreciate you. The end of the year, again, that's a little far out as far as to give like a prediction. I would like to see us, like above, 50 cents if everything gets under control. But again, we have to not ignore the macros that are in the market, right? So I know we're seeing massive amounts of money flow into the markets here, but this is one of the reasons why when I title my video, I'll say short-term TA, or we're having these short-term short-term breakouts and stuff like that, because I always have to keep the macros in mind, that any wrong thing that can go wrong with whether or not the inflation is under control, whether or not the Feds are going to get more aggressive, whether or not things with Russia and Ukraine is going to intensify. Anything. We have a lot of things here that can, if they go wrong or if they get more aggressive, it's like boom. So I have to kind of accommodate for that when I say, okay, what does the rest of the year look like? And those are major, major factors to play into what I believe the rest of the year looks like. So I would like to see us at, even if we have somewhat like in a neutral space, that, okay, inflation is not the best, but it's kind of like, okay, no matter how long the situation goes out, but it doesn't escalate to, America getting involved, or, just another level of warfare, basically. I'd like to see us climb and build some support, hopefully above like the 50 cents. If everything goes great, we tackle inflation, that resolves itself, and we stop seeing these indicators of a recession, then yeah, we can definitely start talking about testing all-time highs and possibly $1 at that point. But we're just going to have to deal with some of these macros first. Hey, hello, Mark. Let's see, if Dogecoin doesn't go up for the next 2 weeks, it will be down 69% for the year. Yeah, and again, that's fine. we've actually seen worse, but nothing abnormal about about the correction window and the amount of time as well. So once we get closer to like some abnormal stuff, we're going to have to. Well, I'll start obviously covering that. But as of right now, we're still within the realm of normality when it comes to crypto. Hello, hello. Let's see. Press the like button. Absolutely, absolutely. Let's see. Wasn't there plans for Doge and Ethereum to work together with the help of Vitalik? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was. There's talk of building a bridge to expose Dogecoin to like the NFT sector. I haven't heard anything contrary to that, so I'm going to assume that that's still in the works. I have no idea of the amount of behind the scenes work it takes to actually bring that to fruition, but as of right now, I haven't heard anything contrary, so I'm going to have to assume that that's still in the works. But yeah, that's just another form of utility for Dogecoin. So I'm all for that as well. And with Doge being having that expansion into the NFT sector, so I'm all for that. But yeah, you're absolutely correct. Let's see. When Moon Trip, when I get confirmation, I'll post it because I'm seeing a lot of different stuff. I get like some actual concrete information that'll be posted. But because I would say just look, but there's so much missing. There's like 3 or 4 if you just simply at Google or something, like 3 or 4 different dates. So if I get like some actual confirmation from a reliable source, I'll post it. As of right now, I'm not sure, but I haven't heard anything contrary to it happening. So I still believe we're on for it. When is the next Fed meeting? That'll be posted in my notes. Again, I've been working on some different projects and stuff, so I haven't had time to look at that over the last few days. But I'll post that in the community section and kind of like a briefing after this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put that in my notes for the Fed meeting. All right, thank you, Grounded, for bringing it up. That's very important, and I'm glad you're looking for that. That is very important to get an idea of where the market is. Cardano is a good long-term stock, wouldn't you say? Absolutely. I own Cardano. I am long on Cardano. I believe it's going to do great things. Cardano is certainly in my top 5. Inverted yield curve. You think the Fed takes that into consideration, or are they just dumb as rocks? No, I think they look at that because I made that post like literally like a few minutes after the yield curve inverted in the community section. And technically speaking, historically speaking, that means we're going to have a recession, with literally within the next 2 years, but we can see it as soon as like 6 months. We've seen, because and that's one of the reasons when I answered the question earlier about my predictions for Dogecoin later this year, and I was talking about macros, is we're getting a lot of hints at a possible breakdown in the market. Remember, we're seeing that the NASDAQ is touching over a 20% correction and going into, hinting bear markets. We're seeing the inverted yield curve. We're seeing the inflation numbers come up, and we're feeling the actual inflation that is, I feel comfortable saying, more aggressive than what the Fed is reporting. We're getting these little flashing indicators that there is kind of more to come in a further breakdown. I would like to imagine the Feds would take that into consideration because they can't not know about it. And again, if I can look historically and say, okay, well, inverted yield curve typically hints at a recession is coming, they should know that information as well, considering that most of them are at least twice my age. So I would like to hope that they would take that into account with their upcoming movements, but we'll see. I've been shocked a lot over the last few years with our government. So I'm just going to say we're going to have to hope for the best if they take that into consideration. Let's see. Doge One mission to set to launch June 1st. I believe Doge will hit $1.20 by June 1st. Elon will announce it soon on his Twitter. Okay, yeah, June 1st. That'll be great. That's right in the middle of summer. Yeah, I guess we'll just kind of have to see where we're at though. But yeah, something like when in, like an Elon announcement, that'll certainly give us like a concrete date. And this is when we can expect people to, not only media and stuff like that, to gather around the coin, but you can expect a lot of volume to come into the coin too. Again, from even from those people from that are short term, that just simply want to take positions off of the potential momentum. So I do believe we'll see an uptick when this is officially announced. So thank you for being truthful, unlike a lot of YouTubers who just try and shill and pump. Love this channel. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, no ridiculous mooning stuff here. We're gonna look at charts and be specific with our intention. So I appreciate all of you guys for appreciating me. I appreciate that. You guys are great. One of the engineers tweeted that they're still working on the Ethereum bridge. Okay, perfect, perfect. Yeah, I hadn't heard anything contrary to that news, so that's why I just assumed that we're still on. So can I do a video on what is it, LTC TA? I can. Yeah, I haven't done. I've covered like Ethereum, and I've done like some TA like on Ethereum or Bitcoin, so I can do like a 3 minute TA. That's not a big deal. I can do that. Late to the party, hitting rewind. Thank you, thank you. One of the guys I follow says he sees maybe a small push to 15, then dipping back down to 10. Do you see what he sees? Do I see what he does? Yeah, I mean the catalyst and the market indicators are there. That's one of the things that it's one of the reasons why when I put out these videos, because I don't like to just pump coins or just put out catchy titles and saying, oh, $5 and crap like that, just to try and get clicks and all that. I can't ignore the macros, so I'm not going to tell you guys something and then obviously when I see something else. So the catalysts are there for us to get the bigger breakdown. Like we have to resolve a lot of macros in the market. So that would threaten to push not only Dogecoin but the market down, as if we saw a further run on liquidity. And yeah, we did get some break pumping action around like 10 cents, which is, at that point, the market has, at least for now, the market has decided that at that point it is oversold and that it is of great value. So that's when we see a lot of momentum coming to the coin. But remember, the actual next level of support is 6 cents, but the market determines where the brakes are going to be pumped at, because just the amount of people that are already in the coin, the large community, and for people who will simply just take positions because they're saying, hey, last time we were here, we got this rise, technically like a 50% profit. If we run up to like 15 cents, I'm going to take a position here. So we can definitely see it come back down to that range. But just like last time, history has shown that we get great bounces from that area because it hits oversold. So it's into that oversold range. So it's certainly possible if we have the right breakdown with some of our macro events. Are we still likely to see it run up to 20 cents? Yeah, I know what point, and you jumped in the video, but I went over the TA in the video for short term. And yeah, no, we're doing fine. This is really great short term TA. We're getting rejections off of our 21-day moving average. We're building support around the 72-day moving average. Very bullish. This is great short term for the coin. So we're still on track for upward movement. So I'm completely okay with us building support here at our 20. Well, pretty much using the 21-day moving average as a floor and building support at the 72, and hopefully just going up from there. So I'm completely okay with that. And they were currently holding 475 million Shiba. What do you think about Shiba? So Shiba I had listed, because I bought some last year, but Shiba I had listed as like it wasn't something I was holding long term, just because I felt like they needed to kind of like branch off and build like some utility and stuff like that outside the realm of what Doge has done, to kind of like settle into their own niche so they can command that utility in the market. And so for that reason, I've always considered it like a short-term cash grab until there's they have a large community, don't get me wrong, which is one of the major factors that you need to make a coin succeed. But for the same reasons that we need Dogecoin to have utility, Shiba would need so as well. And it's one of the things that I was talking about when I did Shiba TA a lot, was Shiba was threatening a full reset. And I believe last time I looked at it, it had done so because it fell to like that last level of support, and they needed to trend sideways or go pretty much a break upward, because the next breakdown would pretty much put them in full reset territory. And I believe that's what happened. So for that reason, that's why I didn't buy any additional Shiba or take a long-term position, because the catalyst for me, they weren't there, and the charts were simply just nasty, because Shiba pretty much had well, I don't know if you got how long you've been on the video, but I mentioned about those gap ups. That's one of the nastiest things that you can see in a chart. It's a fun ride when it's happening. Like if you logged into your portfolio tomorrow morning and you saw Dogecoin had a straight arrow up and it's just taking off like a rocket. It's a fun ride up, but it's held down, because when you have things like that, you're having massive money flow into the market. The same way it flows in, it will flow out. And typically when you have those gap ups, there's no anything in between, so it's kind of like jumping off of a springboard. So you're going to have, when you get back to those levels, you typically see the same reaction on the other side, and you fall to the next level of support. So, you just kind of got to be careful when you see things like that. So when I see these types of indicators and charts, I typically will wait for entries, just because you're buying really dangerous territories when you start buying something when it's shooting up. And Shiba had like several of those before it reached its all-time high, and then we saw it come right back on the other side and pretty much dump those profits. So that alone made me stay away from it. So as of right now, those things haven't changed for me. So I'm not holding, or I don't plan to make any additional entries for right now. Let's see, David, if a recession does occur, do you think it will have a negative or positive impact on Doge? It'll have a negative impact overall in the market. We typically will see, because we know that most of the market is owned by institutional money. So typically when we have these downward trends that we don't know how bad it's going to be or how long it's going to last, aka uncertainty in the market, you'll see people with, even just wealthy people, whales, institutions, they're going to try and hedge, because at that point, it's no longer about profit. It's about protecting what you already have. So they're going to move money around. Crypto is still considered extremely volatile, and it is considered more risky than some companies in the stock market. It's like, okay, over the next 5 years, we have no idea how bad the economy is going to be. Do you want to own, $1 billion of Doge or $1 billion of Apple or Microsoft? It's an easy decision for them. So again, because of that utility factor. But so they'll certainly have a negative impact breaking down, because when we start seeing a lot of uncertainty and negative catalysts in the market, that's going to drive fear, and people are going to go into protect mode versus growth. So we'll see further liquidity leave the market. So, hey, David, me again. Do you think $1 this year is possible? 9 months left. It depends on the market. Macros are out there. A lot of them are not looking good. Inverted yield curve, inflation, it's a lot of things out there. So as of right now, it's a little soon. That's what I was saying early. It's a little soon to say something like that. But we're going to have to keep an eye on the catalyst here that we have, and also the macro events. This is going to be, I hate to say it, but it's going to be like a wait and see type of thing, and kind of chart as we go. But we do have the ability to see short-term movements. And, like I went over earlier in the video, short-term, we are very bullish, which is great. As long as we're building higher lows and stuff like that, we're on the right track. So I much rather that than the gap up, for the reasons I just explained a few minutes ago. Inflation is likely 10 to 20%. Oh, definitely double digits. Definitely double digits. I agree. So you remember the days when we thought Doge would reach $1 by the end of 2021? Now we're all hopeful for 20 cents. This sucks. No, no, it's market cycles. Because there's a lot of uncertainty. You can look at a chart, because I think even like the best chart patterns, you're going to get like a 60 to maybe, if you're lucky, like an 80, 83% success ratio. So even charting it, catalyst, stuff like that, it's never going to be, like 100%. This is going to happen. Otherwise, everybody would be a trillionaire. Um, and then when we have like these turn of events and we have inflation come in a lot sooner, we have a lot of like macro events that are happening that we you can't necessarily chart. You can kind of see it coming, but only after it's already happening. So they typically can delay charts or not charts, delay momentum or cause uncertainty in the markets that can cause stretch outs in time frames that we believe things are going to happen. But overall, time frame wise and the range at which Doge corrected, nothing has broken the cycle trends that we've seen before, where Doge has reacted in an abnormal way that should cause fear or panic. Doge has done everything historically that and that we thought it would do based off of other coins that have went through these cycles, and it reacted along with the market and got the bounces where it was supposed to. So the cycle may have been extended, but overall, there is no indicators that anything has changed. So it just comes down to a matter of patience. Hi, David. I was wondering where you have been. I'm back. I'm back. Let's see. Hey, David, how do you feel about AMC? If so, how do you feel about Adam Aaron? No, I like Adam. I'm not gonna be like a crazed fan or anything like that. Like, oh, he's my silverback and something like that. I'm not gonna do all that. But yeah, I like Adam. I think he's doing really great to build and solidify AMC's position for them to grow and remain relevant in the future. So I can't knock him for that, for having vision. AMC, I still hold AMC. I am bullish on AMC, and I'm very curious over the next couple of weeks for the price action that we're going to see. We have a lot of bills that have passed that were open for comments and stuff like that have some of them have closed, and we can expect some more transparency going forward over the next month. I believe all positions over $10 million that are shorted have to be reported. So this will kind of give us like an idea, because now that Adam Aaron's come out and say, hey, you guys own 90% of the float. Now we're going to have some answers when we do some math here and say, okay, well, if we own 90%, institutions own, another 10%. Technically, that should be 100% right there, right? But whatever. Let's just say there's 10% available, and we look at the amount of shorts here. We're going to have to see, okay, how are they swinging the stock, 15, 20, 30%, 50% with less than 10% of the shares available, especially if you're not, allowing them to borrow shares and stuff like that. So I think that the next month, next 30 days, in particular April, though, is going to be really bullish for AMC. I'm really curious to see how they're going to play with these numbers here to keep the price down. Other than that, we should be seeing some tick upwards. Let's see. When is AMC going to start accepting Doge? The implement has been done, I believe, like for about a month now. I'm going to not play. I need to do a video on how to do that. But again, I've been working on some other stuff, but the announcement was made, I want to say, about a month ago now. Do you own any precious metals, gold, platinum, silver? Yeah, gold and silver, been buying since I was like 15. Yeah, I like Silver Eagles. I've used some of my videos, actually. If you go back and look at some of my earlier videos, I put some of my gold, not gold, I put some of my silver in the videos. But yeah, Silver Eagles, Gold Eagles. I like Johnson Matthey bars, like the 10 ounce. I'm okay with Sunshine Mint, Silvertown. I like those. But yeah, I wouldn't consider myself a silver bug, but I do believe in owning precious metals. Absolutely. Let's see, long time no see, David. Hope you're doing okay, my dude. Yeah, I'm doing great. See, a lot of talk about BTC acting as a sort of world currency. I asked why not Doge, speed, security, and low gas fees. Doge will have to gain that position through utility and for some of the reasons that you just stated. Bitcoin is the face of crypto. It's the Coca-Cola, it's what Coca-Cola is to soda. It's used interchangeably with even just the word cryptocurrency. So they're always going to be pushed first right now, and not to mention that they make up like 60% of the entire market cap. So that's another reason. But and institutions have kind of chosen that as their favorite. They've kind of held it up as this is our chosen child. So until proven otherwise through utility, and just simply adoption by the masses, every time, expansion or like when it comes down to like a country accepting cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is always going to get that shake just because of who's involved with the coin and its sheer dominance in the crypto market. So Doge is not going to be in that conversation as far as like a world currency or the pretty much countries endorsing it. Not even have a shot at it until we get some utility and stuff like this on some of the lower levels. And I do believe the Feds and stuff like that are going to come out with their own coins and try and push it to compete. But again, that's not abnormal. We see that even when I was talking about gold and silver earlier. We've seen the gold eagles, the silver eagles. Those are U.S. minted coins, so they have a presence in making, in precious metals, gold and silver. But you can go buy generic rounds. So you can buy, like Silvertown, Johnson Matthey's. Those are like generic bars and bullion and stuff like that you can buy. But the government has a presence, so we may see something like that with cryptocurrency. So even if it comes as a world currency, you can have maybe like a BTC or maybe even Dogecoin as well on the between countries, and you just have the option of which one you want to use, but you're still going to have that Fed coin or whatever there as their recommended choice. It may just make it easier or charge less fees or something. But I do believe that we're going to have to. I don't see, even with the investigations and stuff that they're announcing, I don't see them rolling over just yet to a Bitcoin or a Dogecoin. So I'm expecting them to have some type of presence in that area. But great question overall. Psychology video. Hey, I'm going to release the first one. I actually recorded 3. I'm going to release the first one. I'm going to try for this week and just try and put it in like before I do like a live or like my regular scheduled video. Thank you, Daniel, for staying on top of these psychology videos. It's very important about the psychology of investing. And I broke it up into 3 sections here, but I'll release the first one this week. I'll make sure I do that. Put that here as well. I'm also working on some additional projects, but thank you about the psychology because I believe that's very important. I'm going to do like a segment, maybe even like a separate segment on my channel. So when you go to my channel, my homepage at least, you'll be able to kind of just look at some of the psychology aspects, especially coming up in the market where we're potentially headed. That's going to be really important to make sure that you're doing things for the right reasons. What do you think about Snoop plus ADA brand effectiveness going forward as a crypto as a whole? I mean, typically you could have like, simply just marketing, really. You have people stand next to, anything, and you're able to, capitalize off the audience, the attention, stuff like that. So it's nothing, we've seen a lot of stuff like that with, like Doge and all that kind of stuff like that as well. So it doesn't hurt. It's just simply marketing. So I don't knock anything that has like I'm not anything that's literally like just a marketing strategy. So I don't have any issues with it. Brand effectiveness going forward for crypto as a whole. Yeah, I mean, because technically right now crypto is becoming more and more competitive. So you're gonna have to do things that you're gonna have to make you stand out, because if you go back and watch one of my older videos, I called it the consolidation of crypto. And I said that a lot of these cryptocurrencies that we see now, they're not going to exist in 5 years or so. We're going to have this massive consolidation where these coins were just a thing. And all of you guys in the chat, you guys are going to go, hey, remember this coin? Remember this coin? It's going to be like gone. So right now, the communities, the developers, they're fighting for their positions. You're creating these different niches, brand awareness, attention, stuff like that. You're fighting to sustain the test of time, really, which is really going to come down to, especially you're talking about being dominant in a currency or a world currency or something like that. This gives you the opportunity to build that credibility by sustaining the test of time. Because you say, oh, hey, I want my coin to be used for this, and the coin is 6 months old. It's like, what the hell is that? I'm not risking my business, my reputation for some coin that just came out, and then you guys rug pull it and everybody's looking at me. So when you have that, that credibility, that though when you're attached to other people, when you have that longevity behind you, it's like a comfort factor. So brand effectiveness, I think they're just trying to build off of that for those reasons. Let's see. BTC is the rich man's crypto more than the face of crypto. It doesn't have any utility as a real currency outside of being the oldest crypto. Doge has real life utility that BTC doesn't have. No, I understand what you're saying. Certainly, it could be the rich man's crypto because let's be honest here, even with the price point, if we weren't able to buy fractionals, how many people would be able to actually participate in the coin? So no, I understand exactly what you're saying. If you had to wait until and drop, $45,000, $47,000 just to be like, hey, I'm in Bitcoin, and there was no other option, it would be it'd be off the table right now. But the reason I said it was the face is because of like the marketing around it, and when we see these coins, these companies, when they say, hey, even if it's not geared toward them, they say, hey, you guys, you think we should accept Dogecoin, something like that, Bitcoin is going to be on the table. Now, I've made a bunch of videos on why it's stupid to spend Bitcoin in that manner. Like you said, as far as for Doge having real life utility, I completely agree with that. I've done a bunch of videos on why it's incredibly stupid to spend Bitcoin for, toothpaste, just toilet paper, household goods and stuff like that. It makes financially no sense. But again, yeah, because of the popularity and stuff like that, they're trying to push it, and I believe maybe someday they'll just break it down. Everybody will trade satoshis or something like that. But as of right now, it absolutely makes no sense. So we're in agreement on that one. To be honest, I think we're going down. We're baby kissing the 200 moving average on Bitcoin. I'm sure whales aren't buying. Yeah, I know. I gave my overall projections for where I believe the bottom of the market is with Bitcoin and Doge. Until I see something change in the macros, those numbers have not changed. So this is one of the reasons why I say short term when I put out my videos and stuff like that. So short term, this is great. Even if we do have that breakdown further, this is great overall because we kind of have an idea of what to expect on the next bull run in those key areas. So I have no issue with what's going on here. But yeah, you're right. So until we get those macros under control, we're going to have to make sure we're looking at both sides of the coin. Is Dogecoin moon or no? No, we're still doing great. We're still headed in the right direction. All right. I'll take this one. I really hope that Doge will add a burn mechanism plus a supply cut update to make it back to limited supply. If these things happen, then it's done. Doge will be top 5 and stay there. What do you think? Yeah, I know the dev said they don't have intentions on doing that, but yeah, you're right. With the volume and stuff that's there, the shorts would not have the they'll still be at a disadvantage when they come in because we've seen some abnormal price actions and Doge kind of be halted at lower levels other than what it should be just because of killing momentum and stuff like that. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, if we start playing with a limited amount of coins here, it's going to be much harder for them to get away with that. And we're going to have that buying pressure is going to be a lot harder to overcome in the short term. So you're absolutely correct. I think we'll see Doge jump up a magnitude of different spots in the community. Dogecoin has a large community, very loyal following. And when we see these catalysts and stuff like that comes out, we definitely see much sharper price reactions. Let's see, Doge still has catalysts coming. Don't sleep on it. When you think Doge will pass 30 cents? I believe that, well, if we are not seeing like a breakdown like macros events and stuff like that, we can have that opportunity, especially if we keep trending the way we are now. Let's just say the moon launch is around June. That hype could be the one that's going to push us over that, especially if we keep trending upward and building the support that we are now. Outside of like some obscene amount of shorts or something coming in, that can be the catalyst that pushes us above it around like midsummer. So we just have to kind of keep an eye on the macro events and stuff to make sure that we're in position, but that can certainly be a catalyst for it. So a friend told me not to invest in Doge because he thinks it has no future like Shiba. Now, this is developers that it's the developers abandoned the coin. I didn't. the original developers are not on the coin anymore. But when it comes down to the future of a coin, you're going to need community, utility, and leadership. So as of right now, we still have Elon at the forefront. The community, I'm sure you noticed, is massive. And utility, we're obviously growing that sector as well. So this is one of the things that you're going to need if you're going to have long-term success and certainly gain utility in the market. So I say Dogecoin is thriving in all of those areas. So, but I think the next big step is we're going to have to get additional national chains on board for Dogecoin. So something like what we see with AMC, but certainly if we can break into like the fast food area, stuff like that, I believe those are all great ideas to push Dogecoin forward and gain that utility on a large scale. So I believe we're making efforts and certainly seeing progress in all of those areas here. So I don't have any questions or concerns about Dogecoin's future. Let's see. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. You're welcome. Do you have any favorite books? Yeah, Money Mastery by Tony Robbins. I really think that's a great idea. The whole concept of the book. So I think you'll learn a lot from that one. Let's see. What was squeezed first, AMC or Doge? AMC. I don't believe Doge is in a position to squeeze right now. Let's see. I know this is on topic. What do you think about GME? I know it sounds far-fetched, but I heard people saying it could reach $1 million a share. The hedges are pulling their hair. $1 million a share, I doubt it. We see things like these crazy numbers because we have the ability for people to produce whatever they want, and the bigger the number is, the more likely you are to get clicks and attention and stuff like that. But when you see these numbers, even when you look at the insurance policy of the hedges, look at what they're actually obligated to pay you out in the event that they go broke. Look at the amount of money that you can actually withdraw daily. I'm just giving you some things to consider here. I'm going to answer your question, but if you look at the amount of money that you can withdraw daily and look at how they've cut that price down dramatically over the last 12 months, so that, if you got like $1 million, $2 million in there or something like that, and you can only withdraw, maybe 25K, 15K a day, depending on like your brokerage or something like that. Look at how long it takes you to get your money out. Look at how long they gave themselves to come up with it. Look at the overall amount if they default, whether their amount that they have to pay you. It's like, oh, well, we owe you $10 million. We defaulted. We were responsible for 900,000. And then overall, you have to ask, okay, what's the market cap or something like this? Because I've seen this with a number of squeeze plays that happened this past year. And they're like, yeah, this is going to hit six figures. This is going to hit, $1 million. And now we're getting $50 trillion, $80 trillion market caps. And I'm like, where in the hell? I'm like, you putting this number out there, you're saying that this stock is going to have 3 times the GDP of the country, and you're expecting to get paid on that. And it's just, I'm not saying it can't go up. I believe a lot of these plays are going to squeeze and go up, but I believe that a lot of the numbers that are pushed out by people are for attention. It's for, it's literally just BS. It's something similar. Every community have them. I would call it something similar to like the Moon Boys and Dogecoin. They exist in every community. It's not unique. You'll have Moon Boys of AMC, Moon Boys of BTC, Moon Boys of whatever. They're going to come out and say some crazy stuff that they can't validate at all, and you just kind of got to be careful about that. So you can still see appreciation on the coin for sure, but just ask additional questions, and you'll kind of get an idea of why these numbers are being pushed and the actual possibility of them coming true. Let's see here. Can Dogecoin realistically reach $1 this year with all the new cryptocurrency out there now? Yeah, it still can. We just have to have the structure in place for it to happen. So people have shiny object syndrome. So it's not necessarily yeah, the amount of the expansion of the crypto market, did it hurt the overall cryptos that were like top 10, top 5, stuff like that? Sure. But a lot of time, but most of these, like I say, like over the next year or so, a lot of these people, they're going to learn how to invest either on their own or the hard way. And these coins are going to disappear, and a lot of people are going to get killed financially. And the shiny object syndrome goes away. But when you have market breaks like we had over the last year or so, we're getting attention, the highest amount of retailers in the market, in the history of the market. People are going to be, there's going to be a lot of bouncing around volatility in the market. So we can certainly see that, but we're just going to have a reason to have that cash concentrated like we did last year, and we can make things like that happen. So that's up to us to generate the catalyst and stuff like that. It looks to me like the media is not doing a job on covering the corruption regarding AMC. The FTDs that occur every month halting GME, and AMC is about to take off. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they know what they're doing, but we see hopefully the 13 F2 and stuff like that, 10C1, all of those new regulations, hopefully they play a big part over the next 30 days, and we can actually see what we're working with. But yeah, you're absolutely right. They're not going to, because as of right now, because nothing has been proven, I don't want to say that they don't want to push conspiracies, because obviously when they want to, they do. But because it's internal and stuff like that, and because of the sheer power and influence of these companies that they would not directly be saying are doing illegal things, but they're kind of going to stay away from that from now. So I don't want to count on the media to cover this intensively at the moment. You think those will go to 20 cents? I do. Colorado, hello. Study market cap if you want to make an educated guess of a top. I agree completely. Because I'm like, I'm not sure when you jumped in the video, but yeah, when you look at the catalysts and stuff like that, some of these coins, and they're like, oh yeah, $1 million, 10 million a share. I'm like, how? Like how? They're gonna owe you all the money we have twice. Like how? Oh my God. But yeah, trust me, they'll pull the plug on it long before then. But yeah, you're absolutely correct. You think Tesla will accept Doge for car this year? I do. Let's see. So this will be the last one. Theoretically speaking, of course, if the people hold, so in the case of a MOAS, mother of all short squeezes, how high realistically could it go there for GME? Certainly into four figures. The question is, when are they going to start, pulling the plugs and halting and all that kind of stuff like that? Because remember, when they halt a stock, it's technically halting it for you. It's not when they halt a stock, it never comes back live at the current price. Like when it goes back live again, it's going to be dramatically lower. I have yet to see a stock get halted and it come back at a higher price, even if it's running. So, they're halting it obviously for, cool down purposes and all that kind of stuff like that. But we've seen that this past year, even with stocks like DWAC and even with AMC, like over the last week or so, we'll see like these halts and extreme volatility. And, it's, $20, let's just say $20 when it gets halted, it comes back and it's like $9. I'm like, who in the hell sold? Like, it was only the selling orders that got pushed through. Like it's amazing how it works, everything that went through when it was halted were sell orders. Apparently, there were no buy orders. So we we have to keep that in mind when we start saying, okay, how high can something go? Like what strategies are they going to use? It's going to be like a ladder approach to get it down. And then just the sheer amount of people that haven't shorted, that are going to short, that are going to place puts at those high ranges. So we have to keep all that in mind. But I'll say definitely into four figures before we start seeing some absolutely malicious content from the other side to kind of suppress prices. So I think that is a nice, reasonable approach to it before they start doing their tricky stuff that they have. Halting, turning off the buy button. Yeah, can't forget that. Buy button gone. Yeah, so it's a lot of stuff that they can do to kind of get the price down. let's see. Would you agree on taking out Bitcoin 34K low and testing last year's 28K low and seeing if we bounce before a possible bull run? I'm feeling feeling a fat liquidation soon. You know, that's possible. That's totally possible. I still believe that we're going to see Bitcoin into the 20s. I have not changed that. Have not seen a reason to change that opinion. If anything, we're building additional cases on why that's going to happen, especially with the inverted yield curve. So I still believe that's a real possibility. But let's see. Thanks for answering the questions. Yeah, no problem. I appreciate you. So I won't make this video too long. We're about 50 minutes now. Just wanted to come back and chat with you guys. I know I haven't posted in a few days. Like the video. For those of you that have been with me, like the video. I appreciate you. Share the video with a friend. Subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more from me. Regular videos will resume tomorrow. All right. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you and have a good night.